I'm just curious, if you're the Cade Cunningham team, would you rather play for Detroit or for Houston, knowing that you're a Texas kid, your family's based in Texas?
No state income tax. Yeah, there's a lot of things to like about that.
Hey, we're in a different world, EK. These kids, they have a lot of power. I'm not saying he's going to pull an Eli Manning and, force his way out of playing for the San Diego Chargers and go play for the New York Giants. But again, I will not be surprised. I'm not trying to put any false information out there, but Detroit, Houston, I wonder who the Cade Cunningham and his team and his family, if it came down to those two picks, who they were pulling for. I know they'll give a political answer and say they'll play for anybody, but you never know.
So I want to start with this video and just address some things that I've been hearing in the Pistons community, of course, on YouTube, and of course on ESPN, man, and CBS and all these guys. I'm just gonna come out and say it. It's jealousy, man. It's envy. It's hatred. They don't want us to win, guys. I've been telling y'all this since I started this channel. They will do anything to keep us out. They stole the Detroit versus everybody. They got that on. Everybody has that now. Let's just say that we can't have anything to ourselves. That's the point. They want us down forever. If we get anything to ourselves, if we get anything of value, that means we come up. They don't want that. I've been telling you guys that it's not just about what Cade can do on the court. It's about what he can do just for the story, I guess you could say, of the Pistons. We need a change. And I think that's what he'll bring. Creation ability, vision, shooting ability from the 3-point, 40% from the 3-point range, shooting ability. And he's an old school guy. He has a deadly mid-range shot. He's going to bring that back. This is one of the biggest reasons why I say we could be worst to first. We're going to have a fast offense, man. Running through Cade Cunningham, dishing to Saddiq, dishing to Isaiah Stewart on the wing. This is another reason. This is something I want to get into. So, you guys understand that, there's no Jalen Green, there's no Evan Mobley. We got to get Cade Cunningham. It's Cade or die. It's, Cade or fade. All that stuff is right, man. Because we're not going to get another star. We don't have the ability to get a Zach LaVine or a Kawhi Leonard. They don't want to come here. And I don't blame them. Because we have to create something first, man. Nobody just wants to, you to take food off the fucking plate every time it's on there. They want you to actually put something there so they can see it. And if we can build a team around Cade, and it's not even build a team. The team is there. Remember, I told you we built the team backwards. We're just waiting for Cade, literally. So Troy Weaver is a genius guy. I don't even want to go there, and acknowledge the stupidity of getting anybody else, because I put that above him. I put that below him, man. I think he's shown us that, if anything, you'd have to, put out Karl Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo. That's what we're talking about. Okay, those are the, you want to Devin Booker. Then we can start talking. Let's get into the video, man. So, I want to start with this, guys. There's 3 reasons why I believe the Pistons will go from worst to first. The first is that Saddiq is going to take a giant leap. Yes, a giant leap. And I'm going to say this, it's not even a giant leap, it's his projected leap. But his projected leap will put him on a course so deadly, there's going to be few with his size, his ability, and he's already shown some record-breaking, moments at the 3-point line. So anything further for him, especially with shooting, will be record-breaking, literally. I have a prediction. He might. I'm not saying he will break the 3-point record next season, but I think he'll come close. He may hit 10, 11, 12 threes, you know what I'm saying, in a game, because we saw in his rookie season he was doing 7, 6, 5, multiple games like that. And so if he goes anywhere in the direction of up, guys, you're looking at a historical individual. And it could be very, very impactful as far as what we need to get to the playoffs. And I don't want to discount having a 3-and-D wing of his caliber. He was already as a rookie one of the best 3-and-D wings in the entire league. So again, growth from him puts him in very rare air, guys. We cannot forget about that. Now, as far as Killian Hayes comes, he did show me some good things at the end of the season, and I'm not saying he doesn't have a place on the team, but he's not playing point guard over Cade Cunningham. So with Cade Cunningham at the 1, he can move to his natural position now, the 2. Killian Hayes was never even a 1, guys. That shit in Europe may have worked, being slow, playing in slow motion and trying to drag niggas across the court, and he has elite vision, which probably made up for it. But in the NBA, the lack of athleticism will not allow him to create effectively, or I should say put the defense in a position where they feel like they ever need to double team him or anything. Man, he's not beating guys off the dribble, and at the top of the key you either got to be able to shoot the ball or you have to have the first step. Okay, so that puts him at the 2 guard. And I'll just say this last thing about Killian. I know he was injured, but at the same time, guys, he played so bad before the injury. He was turning over the ball, he couldn't shoot, and yes, he's a rookie and all that, but I don't think it didn't look natural. Let's put it that way. It was beyond not having any skill and athleticism. It wasn't about that, because we did see some moments at the end of the season where you kind of, you said to yourself, okay, he does have some tools in his toolbox as far as his elite passing ability. He does have some shooting capabilities, off balance shooting capabilities. But when you really look at it, he's not a point guard. He doesn't, or at least an NBA point guard. Doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You either need to shoot or you need to have an elite dribble, which he does not, guys. He does not have an elite dribble. So, and that's another reason why, as an NBA point guard, one of the biggest things I think you have to be able to, you have to have an elite handle. And if you don't, you just get out of line, dude. Get out of line and go to the 2 guard or something. So that's why I am with Killian Hayes. Is he might actually be onto a breakthrough. He might have a breakthrough season. This might be a wake up moment for him that, dude, you're not a point guard, and he should have never been playing at point guard. I know that we weren't able to see a lot of film on him and stuff because he's from Europe, but after seeing that season, I think we can all say that. But he's definitely not playing point guard over Cade Cunningham. It's not an option. But let's move on to Isaiah Stewart, who I wanted to basically end this video off with, man. He does have the most potential out of everybody on this team, I believe, at this point. Just because we saw the defense first, and we saw some intangibles first. The hard work, hustling the rebounds, the little things. And then as the season went on, you started to see a little bit of the shooting ability, a little bit of the offense, some dribbling ability, some small forward, power forward like skills. And instead of being a Ben Wallace player, I still think, anybody who says that's a stupid comparison, you're stupid. Because you're talking about a guy who can block every shot, who is an anchor on the defensive end, and he's an undersized 5. It's just like Ben Wallace. Now, Ben Wallace may have been a more brute, offensive player and a less finesse and guy, which is good for us. That means that not only, as I said this before, not only does Isaiah honestly have the grit and the demeanor of a Ben Wallace. You saw what he did to Giannis Antetokounmpo. You saw what he did to Blake Griffin after he had just left the team the last week. There's no friends with him. There's no games. There's none of that on the court. He's a no nonsense guy, and he's a get to the top guy. He's a I'm a get what I want guy. And guys, that means that Detroit is along for that ride. So when you have a guy like that who doesn't back down, he's bringing back that Ben Wallace. He's bringing it is literally the media. The media just doesn't want us to win. Simply, if they could, cancel out the whole city, I think they would, and just find a reason, find an excuse, anything. Just anytime we come up, they just hit us on the head like that parade game. Just crazy, man. With the Beavers, yeah, you guys know what I mean. But Isaiah is at 7 points. I expect him to be around 15. I expect him to double it, guys. Expect him to double it, okay? Because if you look at his plus minus averages and his points per 36, it's the highest amongst all rookies, man. Pretty much, I think it was rebounds. He was top 5 in points per 36. His level of production when he's on the court is what's important, is what I was looking at. So it wasn't always about the stats, because of course they weren't giving him his due credit. They never do, man. He had to get on, he had to fight and work, and we saw how he had to claw his way and really show that he was more than what we expected, more than what CBS said, more than what ESPN said. And so now we're on a point where these guys have the ability and they have the window, like a giant window. I don't think there is another team besides like the Suns. We might be the Suns next season, guys. So let's just say this. Cade Cunningham at the point guard position, guys. Killian Hayes should be at the 2. I do expect him to be at the 2. But if you ask me, a Sekou Doumbouya trade package with Killian Hayes, maybe a pick, not the first, the second rounds, of course. Maybe Mason Plumlee. Get them out, man. Go. We need the core 4 or 5 celebrities, superstars. Jeremy Grant, Isaiah Stewart, Saddiq Bey, Cade Cunningham. Let's trade for a what's that dude from Gonzaga? The shooter. Let's get him. Cory Kispert. Let's get Bouknight. Let's bring in somebody who can score the ball alongside Cade Cunningham, because once we do that, I pray Killian Hayes does come through at the 2, but we're looking at a deadly team regardless if he does or not. Because if they put in Wayne Ellington, it doesn't really matter at that point. You just need 4 guys, that can do that, and then the 5th has to be a shooter. Wayne Ellington, that's what you're good for. Go shoot. The 5th guy, we just need to be 5th guy, the extra guy. Just shoot the ball every time you get it. Don't do anything else. Okay, if we could just go forward with those 3 guys, Cade, Saddiq, and Isaiah, and have Jeremy Grant, leading them as the veteran leader, that's the playoffs. It's more than that, to be honest. If Isaiah really breaks out, he'll be most improved next year. Isaiah Stewart will be most improved next year. Mark it, book it. You heard it here. Tell me what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't listen to any of this psychobabble that you hear from these people about trading the first pick. Cade Cunningham might want to stay in Texas. He's a high character guy. He would never do that. Okay, you saw his face when you heard Detroit. It was excitement. It was nothing that these guys say is ever even close to the truth. So when I heard that, and I've heard it from multiple people, I knew it was wrong, because I knew this is a high character guy, and I knew they want him to lose, guys. They don't want him to win. They want him to pull up Eli Manning. What do you? So tell me what you guys think. This is what they do with us, with Detroit. If this was Houston, if this was even Oklahoma City, these conversations wouldn't be happening. Only conversation would be how Cade Cunningham can fit in at that particular city. These conversations would never even occur. They want us somehow to give up our pick for free. Talking about Golden State wants to trade James Wiseman in the 7th pick. We don't want James Wiseman in the 7th pick. I'm gonna get too much into this, but it's not happening. We've got Troy Weaver at the helm. I'm happy Troy Weaver was at the helm. I'm happy about the core that we have now. I would look at trading Killian Hayes and Sekou Doumbouya, Mason Plumlee. Trade them, man. Get them out. But I'll give Killian Hayes another chance, because I do believe he's a 2 guard. Maybe he can honestly impress us to the point where I'm really solidified about that 2 guard position, because he did show me some things in the end of the season. So tell me what you guys think once again, man. And I love you guys, man. Thank you guys.